In continuation with our earlier topic, we had discussed section 32. We had discussed explanation to section 32. We had discussed rule 5, sub rule 1 regarding the rates of depreciation. And we had understood what are the conditions and how do we calculate the depreciation part. So how do we calculate the depreciation? WDV, closing WDV into the rates of depreciation is going to give us the depreciation part. Now, we need to understand something called as computation of WDV. So what, let us start with computation of written down value. So let us try to understand how do we calculate your WDV. For this, there are basic things is what I need to consider: opening written down value of what, asset. Now we are in a comfortable position to understand the meaning of asset. What is the meaning of asset? It could be tangible, it could be intangible. Opening WDV of an asset, okay, of what? Asset falling within, same block. Whatever asset which is falling within same block, I need to consider. Opening WDV of asset falling within same block means what? Asset, we know that there is tangible asset and there is something intangible asset. Intangible asset and intangible asset, in for example, if I take the tangible, you are having plant and machinery, you are having furniture, you are having building. So we know that rules 5 sub rule 1 says there are different rates. Even for a plant and machinery, the rate could be 15%, the rate could be 30%, the rate could be 40, the rate could be 45. For a building, the rate could be 5, the rate could be 10, the rate could be 40. So depending upon the rates, we are trying to create this block. So here what the act says here, so falling within the same block. So whatever assets which are falling under the same block, the total WDV has to be considered. So this is nothing but your section 43. Section 43 subsection 6 speaks about computation of your WDV. So what we have done, whatever opening WDV you have, that entire opening WDV of the block falling, of all the assets falling under the same block. That means if you are having a multiple blocks, I will be having a multiple opening WDV. Now what is the opening WDV? The opening WDV is nothing but the WDV as on the beginning of the financial year. If your financial year is 1920, if your financial year is 1920, I will take the opening WDV as on 1st April 2019. If your financial year is 2021, I will take the opening WDV as on 1st April 20. Like that, if your financial year is changing, so whatever date in which the financial year begins, that date will be considered as your opening WDV. So suppose on the date your WDV is this, opening WDV is going to be this. To this, what we are supposed to do? As per 43 subsection 6 clause C, rather more specific, so I need to add. What I need to add? Let us see. We need to add that actual cost of assets. So whatever actual cost of assets falling under same block again, that means what, you are having a multiple blocks, you are having multiple assets. So whatever block the assets represent, to that block I need to add actual cost of assets falling under the same block acquired during the previous year. So whatever assets you acquired during the previous year, if that belongs to block 1, add that to block 1. If that asset belongs to block 2, add that to block 2. So this actual cost of the asset, we'll discuss it later, is mentioned under section 43 subsection 1. Now let us consider your actual cost of assets acquired being X. Then what happens? Then I need to reduce. What I need to reduce? I need to reduce, yes. What I will reduce? We are going to reduce sale proceeds. Whatever sale proceeds of assets. So whatever assets you sold, sale proceeds of the assets, I need to reduce. Of what? of the assets falling under the same block. If you sold one asset belonging to block 1, that has to be reduced from block 1. If you sold one assets belonging to block 2, you are supposed to reduce from the respective block. Sale proceeds of assets disposed when disposed during relevant previous year from respective block. So from the respective block we need to reduce. So ultimately this, let us consider, put that in bracket, let us call this as your deductions. Then if I close it here, okay, if we close it here, we'll be getting some value. So what is this value called as? This value is said to be called as what? WDV as on 31st March. That means at the end, 31st March is nothing but the WDV at the end of the previous year. End of the previous year we are getting. On this, what we are supposed to do? On this, I need to apply the rate of depreciation to get the amount of depreciation. That's what is the definition part. Okay. Now, let us try to understand how do I calculate WDV with few examples. Okay, that's what is very, very important. We'll discuss that. Okay. Now, let us take an example, a small problem rather. In this, let us try to understand how do we calculate the what WDV and how do we calculate even the depreciation. Let us see. Now, let me write the problem first. Example, or you can also call this as a problem number 1. First problem. Okay. So let us see. So here, the basic objective of this problem is what? Compute depreciation. Compute amount of depreciation that can be allowed. Compute the amount of depreciation that can be allowed as deduction. That's what is the foremost objective of the said question. We have been provided with the list of assets. We have been provided the date of equation. We have been provided the date put to use. We have been provided the amount of the particular asset. Now let us consider the following aspects. First asset. First asset is something called as the computer. First asset is nothing but your computer. Now let me put the headings here. This is nothing but the asset. This is nothing but date of acquisition. This is nothing but put to use, and this is nothing but amount. Okay, let me arrange it properly. Okay, so date of acquisition, put to use, and finally actual cost of acquisition of the asset, amount in rupees. So that's what is the headings. Now the first asset is something regarding the computer. Let us consider date of acquisition 27 September 2019 is the date of acquisition. Now let us consider date put to use being 2nd October 2019. 2nd October 2019 is the date put to use. Then let us consider the actual cost of the asset being 35,000 rupees. So the actual cost of asset is going to be 35,000. That's what is your first asset. Then let us move on to the second asset. Okay, second asset B. What is that? Let us see. Computer software. You had purchased initially the computer. Now you are purchasing something called as computer software. Now, what is the date of acquisition? The date of acquisition is nothing but 2nd October. 2nd October 2019 is the date of acquisition. Date put to use 2 days later, 4th October 2019. Okay, 4th October 2019 is the date put to use. 4th October 2019. The amount of this is going to be 8,500. The software cost is going to be 8,500. Then the next one, you had purchased something called as computer printer. So there is something called as computer printer. Say any sort of computer or computer peripheral, the rate of depreciation is 40% only. This computer printer was acquired by you on the same date, again 2nd October 2019. Put to use, let us consider it happened one day later, 3rd October 2019 was the date of put to use. The cost of the printer being 12,500 being the cost of the printer. So the cost of the printer being this. Now, fourth asset, books. The fourth asset being books. Let us see. Books. Okay. 12,000. So the books cost was 13,000. The books cost was 13,000. So now let us see the date of acquisition there. So the date of acquisition, 1st April, 1st April 2019. So the date of acquisition being 1st April 2019. 1st April 2019 at the beginning of the financial year. So date put to use, when the assets were put to use 1st April 2019, on the same date you had put to use. So the cost of the asset being 13,000. The cost of the asset is what? 13,000 is the cost of the asset. Now date of acquisition and in this case date put to use both remains the same, 1st April 2019. Then let us move on to the next asset. The next asset is nothing but office furniture. The next asset is going to be something called as well office furniture is nothing but your next asset. The cost of that asset is, the date of acquisition is same, 1st April 2019 is the date of acquisition of the asset. Date put to use is also same, 1st April 2019. On the same date of acquisition the asset was put to use. Now let us see what is the cost of the asset. The cost of the asset being 3 lakhs. So office furniture cost is going to be 3 lakhs is the cost of the asset. Now the next asset, laptop. So even laptop is considered as a part of your computer. So ultimately even for this the rate of depreciation is going to be 40%. Then the date of acquisition, let us try to see the date of acquisition. Date of acquisition being 26th September 2019. 26th September 2019. And the cost of acquisition is going to be 43,000. Date put to use being 4th October 2019 is nothing but the date put to use. Then next one, fire extinguisher. The next asset is something called as fire extinguisher. Okay, fire extinguisher is the next asset. Now let us consider the date of acquisition of this being 1st April you had acquired. 1st April 2019 you had acquired. No instance occurred because put to use will happen only when any fire accident is happening. So no instance occurred. So there is no instance which has been occurred there. So here let us write this as no instance occurred during the financial year. The cost of the fire extinguisher being rupees 2,500 is the cost of the asset. Now let us take the last one, H. What is this? This is only one thing here, purchased practicing CA office. That means this person has purchased a practicing CA office in April 2019. Okay, for rupees 5 lakhs. He has purchased for 5 lakhs, which includes, what it includes, which includes uh, 2 lakhs for good, 2 lakhs, which includes 2 lakhs goodwill, which includes 2 lakhs goodwill, and 3 lakhs, and 3 lakhs for cost, 3 lakhs for cost of furniture. So which includes goodwill and which also includes 3 lakhs for the cost of furniture. For this problem, we need to compute WDV. I mean, we need to compute depreciation. In this case, calculation of depreciation, calculation of WDV is quite simple, because opening WDV for no asset which is given, all the assets, whatever assets are there, all the assets are acquired during the financial year. So ultimately, whatever blocks you have, for all the blocks, my opening WDV is going to be nil. What I will be having, only addition part I will be having. And it is also mentioned clearly in the problem that no assets was sold. So opening WDV is 0. Whatever assets falling under the block you are acquiring, added, sale price is going to be 0. So the actual cost of acquisition will be something called as what? WDV as on 31st March. But one point I should remember clearly is what? Whenever any asset is acquired and put to use during the current previous year for a period of less than 180 days, then you cannot take the full rate of depreciation. You are supposed to take only what? 50% of the normal rate of depreciation. So whenever you are getting a problem like this, you may be getting this sort of problem for 8 marks, which is a jackpot. So you can easily get this 8 marks by attempting this sort of question. Now, whenever you are doing this sort of problem, what you should do? What are the things which you should first see? Now, if I try to say, you are having nearly 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 assets. You need to ascertain which block the assets are falling. How many blocks you are supposed to create. Now, computer software, computer, computer printer, laptop, books, all these things comes under the same rate of depreciation. So what I can do, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 5 assets will be grouped by me under one single category. Okay, or what I can do, I can, instead of that, as the asset categories are different, what I will do here, I will be considering the rate of depreciation, because printer, the rate of depreciation of printer is not 40. The rate of depreciation of printer is going to be 15. It's normal. It's like a normal plant and machinery I have to charge it. So now what I can do, computer, computer software, laptop, books. So these 4 assets will be grouped by me under single block. So block number 1. Then what I will do? Then we can group computer printer, okay, fire extinguisher under one block. Because the rate of depreciation of computer printer is 15%, the rate of depreciation of your fire extinguisher is 15%. Now, let me come to this part. Assets should be used during the current previous year. But in the problem it is mentioned that no instance occurred. See, fire extinguisher is completely different. Fire extinguisher, once installed in the company, is said to be used. Because fire extinguisher use will be happening only when the fire accident happens. Fire accident will not happen on a daily basis or not on an occasionally. So, fire extinguisher, Supreme Court has given a ruling that fire extinguisher, even though not used in the year, if it is put, installed, you can start taking the depreciation. So that's the reason fire extinguisher is completely and totally different. Now, then we have left with 2 more assets. What are that? Office furniture, intangible asset, which is nothing but the goodwill. Now let us see what we can do. Office furniture will be considered as a separate block. So how many blocks we had? 3 blocks. First block, computer, computer software, books, laptop is your block number 1. Then my second block was what? Computer, printer and fire extinguisher was my second block. So 6 assets are done. Now my office furniture is nothing but my third block. Now finally the last block is what? The last block which I am going to consider is nothing but the intangible asset, is nothing but the goodwill. So total you are having how many blocks? Total you are having 4 blocks. Now let us start with the solution. So total we are having, so how do I prepare? I need to prepare a small set of statement. what I need to do, I need to prepare a small set of statement. I need to call a statement computation of depreciation, computation of depreciation for respective blocks. Okay, respective block of assets, respective block of assets for previous year 1920, whatever previous it is. If the problem says the previous year 2021, I have to consider for the previous year 2021. Now let us come to the prepare a small table here. Let us call this as a particulars. And as I said, you are having something called as block 1, you are having something called as block 2, you are having something called as block 3, and you are having finally something called as block 4. Now you write here assets. What assets are falling under the corresponding blocks? What assets are falling here? You are considering computer software, and what else? Books. And finally, what is the other one? The other one is nothing but your laptop. So those are the assets which you have been considered as a block 1. Now block 2, it's very simple. You are having only one asset, which is nothing but your office furniture. That's what is nothing but your second block. Then what was considered as your third block? Your fire extinguisher and your computer printer. Now let us write here printer, fire extinguisher. And finally block 4 is something which is nothing but your intangible assets. So that's what is something called as assets which you are having with in your different sort of blocks. Now take the rates of depreciation specified as per rule 5 sub rule 1. What are the rates of depreciation you have? For computer and other related computer purpose, the rate of depreciation should be taken as 40. For office furniture always the rate of depreciation should be considered as 10%. For plant and machinery, generally the rate of depreciation is said to be considered as 15%. For intangible assets such as goodwill, trademark, copyrights, whatever it is, the rate of depreciation should be considered as 25%. Now fundamentally we know that rate of depreciation should be applied on your WDV. So I need to compute my WDV. Now in this case my opening WDV is 0, sale proceeds is not there, so whatever cost I am having of the assets under the block, what is that called as? That itself is called as WDV. But what we'll do, let us try to calculate your WDV. Show this as a part of your working note number 1. So in this case, if you observe, there are few assets put to use for a period of more than 180 days. There are few assets which are put to use for a period of less than 180 days. So ultimately, I need to have a breakup. Two WDVs I need to find out. What? WDV for assets put to use greater than 180. Of course, greater than or equal to 180 days. That's what is one category. What is second category? Put to use. Put to use for less than 180 days. Put to use for a period of greater than 180 days. Put to use for a period of less than 180 days. Both the things what you will do, you will try to calculate as a part of your WDV. Then what? Then ultimately in your next step, WDV into rate of depreciation is going to give you the depreciation to be allowed as reduction under section 32. So this is nothing but your answer. So finally, this is the statement which you are supposed to prepare. Now everything is set. I need to calculate the WDV. Once the WDV is done, I need to segregate that into greater than 180 days, less than 180 days. So ultimately what we can do, we can apply the rate of depreciation, simply calculate the amount of depreciation. So now let us go to your working note number 1. Working note number 1, calculation of written down value. We we are having multiple blocks. Let us take your block 1. Okay, let us first see for your block 1 what is the case there. Block 2, block 3, block 4. Now what we'll do, okay, better for your easy understanding, we'll calculate the WDV for each and every block separately. Okay, calculation of WDV initially for what we'll do, let us do for block 1. Block 1. So what is your block 1? Your block 1 is basically comprising of your computer, software, of your books, of your laptops. So this is nothing but the compositions of your block 1. Now what I have to do, simply let us consider your opening WDV as on 1st April of the beginning 2019. So ultimately in this case my opening WDV is nothing but 0. So 0 is nothing but my opening WDV. To this I need to add. What I need to add? Actual cost of asset as specified under 43 subsection 1 falling within the same block. We had purchased a multiple assets, computer software, laptop. Now I need to take the actual cost of the assets one by one. First what we'll do, we'll calculate the entire WDV. Then we'll try to split up that into assets put to use for less than 180 days, assets put to use for greater than or equal to 180 days. Now what are the assets you had acquired? Computer. When you had acquired, most importantly, now the date of acquisition is not important because acquisition and put to use in this problem both are happening in the same financial year. Now computer put to use, what is the date of put to use? 2nd October 2019. Means what? Asset was used for a period of less than 1 days. If you count from 2nd October to 31st March, you'll be getting a put to use for a period of less than 180 days. So ultimately, what is the cost there? The cost of the computer is nothing but 35,000 is the cost of the asset. Then the nothing but you are also purchase something called as computer software. Computer software. What was the date put to use? 4th October. So what was the amount there? The amount was 8,500. So the assets coming under this block is what? Computer software. If you observe, computer and computer software, both the assets were put to use for a period of less than 180 days. What about books? Books was acquired on 1st April, put to use on 1st April 2019, put to use for a period of more than 180 days. And what about your laptop? Laptop was put to use on 4th October 2019. So laptop was also put to use for a period of more than 180 days. So what I will do here, I will just simply take the laptop. Because the laptop is also put to use on the same date, what is the cost of your laptop? The cost of your laptop is nothing but 43,000. So what is this total called as? What is this total called as? This total is nothing but actual cost of assets put to use for less than 180 days. So now let us arrive at the total of this. Let us see. So what is that here? Basically 35,000 is the computer cost plus 8,500 is nothing but the cost of this computer software plus 43,000 is nothing but the cost of your laptop. So total cost of asset put to use is coming to 86,500. Now what is the other asset? The other asset is nothing but the books. Books is nothing but asset put to use for a period of greater than 180 days. So books is used for a period of greater than or equal to 180 days. What is the cost of the books there? The cost of the books being 13,000. So the cost of books being 13,000. 13,000 is nothing but the cost of the books. Now let us go here. Let us go to our answer sheet. Here, what we had considered something that asset greater than 180 days and less than 180 days. The total of assets put to use for a period of less than 180 days under this block is coming to 86,500, and the total assets put to use here is coming to 13,000. So what we are supposed to do, if the assets are put to use for a period of less than 180 days, on that we are supposed to claim 50% of the normal rate. So ultimately here I need to have two things there. Let us find out the total depreciation there. Now what I can do here, two parts I have to do. Assets put to use for a greater than or equal to 180, less than or equal to 180. The total of this both is going to be the depreciation under section 32. Now what I have to do, 86,500 is the asset put to use for a period of less than 180. So here, how do I calculate the depreciation? 86,500 into 20%. So now what we are going to do, 50% of the normal rate. So which is nothing but 86,500 into 50% of your normal rate. What is your normal rate? Your normal rate is 40%. 50% of that is what? 20. So into 20% is going to give you 17,300. So this gives you 17,300. Now WDV of the assets put to use for a period of greater than 180 days is coming to 13,000. So 13,000 is a value. On this, as you are using for a period of more than 180 days, I can take the full rate of depreciation. So ultimately 13,000 into 40% is going to give me 5,200. So I'll be getting here 5,200. Okay, so now the depreciation here will be what? 5,200, 5,200 plus 17,300. The total will be something around 22,500. So here you should take the depreciation of what? 22,500 in respect of something called as the block number 1. So that's what is the computation of your block number 1. So hope this is clear. So what I will do, I will explain you the other block 2. So I want you to solve with your block 3 as well as your block 4. Okay, now let us go and calculate your WDV for your block number 2. Yeah, so here WDV for block 2. What was your block 2? You had considered, let us go back and see what we have considered as a block 2. We had considered there what? Office furniture as a block 2. So what is the actual cost of the office furniture? Office furniture cost was 3 lakhs. When the office furniture was acquired, the office furniture was acquired on 1st April 2019. When that it put to use on the same date. So you can take the full rate of depreciation. So ultimately 10% is the rate of depreciation which you can consider. So here WDV for block 2, ultimately if we try to say WDV as on 1st April beginning of the previous year is 0. Add actual cost of asset. So add actual cost of asset acquired during the previous year. Only one thing is there, 3 lakhs. There is no sale consideration, less sale proceeds of the block falling under the same year is 0. Sale consideration received or receivable is 0. So ultimately the closing WDV is going to be 3 lakhs. As the asset is put to use for a period of more than 180 days, as the asset is put to use for a period of more than 180 days, you are supposed to take the full rate of depreciation. So asset put to use for a period of greater than 180 days, in that you consider it as 3 lakhs. Then what will happen? Depreciation for the asset put to use for a period of greater than 180 days, 10% into 3 lakhs is going to give you something around 30,000 is the depreciation for your block number 2. Then if we see the answer here, your depreciation for the block number 2 is going to be 30,000. I'll just explain for the other two blocks. You try to solve for the other 2 blocks. Now if we see what is block 3, Block 3 is something but nothing but your printer and your fire extinguisher. So what is the cost of the printer? The cost of the printer is 12,500 and put to use for a period of less than 180 days. And fire extinguisher cost was 2,500 put to use. As I mentioned, there is a Supreme Court decision for this. Even though the fire extinguisher is not used because no fire accident happened, as it is installed, it is deemed to be used. So in this case, one asset is used for a period of more than 180 days. Other asset, which is nothing but your what printer, is used for a period of less than 180 days. So both the case it is 15%, but in this case what will happen? 12,500 into 7.5%, 937.5, and 2,500 into 15%, that is going to give you 375. So ultimately that will give you something which is nothing but your depreciation of the corresponding block. So here again I am telling, so what is the cost of the asset put to use there? The cost of the asset here, furniture, no, fire extinguisher was purchased on 1st April. Computer printer was purchased on 2nd October. So ultimately this asset is used for a period of more than less than 180 days. This asset is used for a period of more than 180 days. So ultimately what we should do, on this 12,500 you are claiming only 7.5% of depreciation. On this 2,500, on this 2,500 you are claiming 15% depreciation. So total put together the depreciation is going to be 1,312.5. So here you will be getting your depreciation as 1,312.5. Again, one asset is used, 12,500 rupees worth of asset. 12,500 rupees worth of asset was put to use for a period of more than 180 days, less than 180 days. So on this you are trying to take 7.5% of your depreciation. On this the asset is used put for period of more than 1 days. On this you are trying to take 15% as the rate of depreciation. That's what is your next block. Then comes your last block, which is nothing but your intangible asset, goodwill. What is the value of the goodwill? It is mentioned here that 2 lakhs rupees the value of the goodwill when that was acquired on 1st April. So good, that is put to use for a period of more than 180 days. So what is the rate of depreciation? 25%. So 2 lakhs into 25% would be the amount of depreciation. You try to solve that here. I'm just putting the values. So you try to calculate the same fashion as we have done for block 1 and block 2. So what is the value here? 50,000 is the value. Okay. So 50,000, 2 lakhs into 25%, 50,000 is the rate of depreciation. Now, total depreciation under section 32. What is the total amount of depreciation under section 32? 20,500, 22,500 plus 30,000 plus 1312.5 plus 50,000. So the total gives you 10,000, 1 lakh 3,812.5. That is the total amount of depreciation which is admissible as deduction. That's what is one thing. Now, I want to give another example. There we'll try to understand when the asset is sold, how do we calculate the depreciation in two cases, right? Now let me go to the example number 2, or you call it as a problem number 2. Example number 2, or you term the same thing as your problem number 2, right? Problem number 2, second problem. Let us see. Now let me give a case where okay, so let me give a case here. You are having block A and you are having something called as block B. Two blocks are there. Now let us consider in this block you are having plant and machinery A and plant and machinery B. So this block you are having plant and machinery A and plant and machinery B. This block you are having something called as building A and building B. So you are having something called as building A as well as building B. Now let us consider WDV of the block as on 1st April of 2019. If you are following the financial year previous year 1920, or you assume that as 20 if you follow the financial year 2021. Now WDV of block A as on 1st April. Let us conclude this to be 10 lakhs. Now, WDV of the other block, block B, building A and building B, let us consider that to be around 25 lakhs. So the total WDV of block A is this, total WDV of block B is this. That's what is the information which is provided. Apart from this, the problem also tries to mention details during details of assets or details of transactions. Let me be more specific. Details of transactions during the previous year. Details of transactions. Okay, details of transactions during the previous year is as follows. Now, let us consider this. Purchased. Okay, purchased what? Plant C. Purchased plant C. Purchased plant C on 1st November 2019. Purchased plant C on 1st November 2019, put to use on same date. Put to use on same date. That means acquired on 1st November 2019, started using the asset on the same date on 1st November 2019. Purchased plant C on 1st November 2019, put to use the plant C on the same date, and what is required? For rupees. At what consideration the plant was purchased? The plant was purchased, let us consider it a consideration of 2,50,000 rupees. Plant C was purchased for a consideration of 2,50,000 rupees. That's what is the first point. Then let us consider your second point. Second point is nothing but sold what? Plant A. Sold plant A. Okay, sold plant A for a consideration. Sold plant A for the consideration of rupees. Of rupees what? Of rupees, let us consider in the first case. Again, I will change this example. Let us initially consider the plant A was sold for rupees 4 lakhs. Let us assume the plant was disposed for a consideration of rupees 4 lakhs. Now, that's what is the given situation. Apart from this, let me take one more point here. Purchased building C for rupees 6 lakhs. So another building was acquired for rupees 6 lakhs. So that's what is the given information. So with this information, what you are supposed to calculate? You are supposed to compute what? Compute depreciation for the relevant previous year. If your relevant previous year is 1920, compute the depreciation for 1920. If your relevant previous year is 2021, compute the depreciation for 2021. That's what is the given information. Now let us try to solve this solution. What we'll do? What is this for? Computation of depreciation for relevant previous year. We should mention what is our previous year, 1920 or 2021. That depends. Now, let me prepare a small table here. How do I compute depreciation? To compute depreciation, first of all, let me prepare a small table. I need to arrive at something called as my written down value. So let us prepare a small table for computation of your depreciation. So two parameters are required. What is the first one? Written down value as on 31st. Written down value as on 31st. Okay, written down value as on 31st March 2020 if you are following the financial previous year 1920, or 21 if you are following the financial year or the previous year 2021. Okay, written down value as on 31st March. I don't know this, I need to calculate now. Okay, as we are doing for two blocks, so let us prepare the table also for the two blocks. Now let us take here block 1, block 2, two blocks, block 1 as well as block 2. Now what I have to consider? WDV as on 31st March 19 or 31st March 20 or 31st March 21. Now this I don't know. Now let us calculate this as a part of your working note number 1. Then what else is required? I require rate of depreciation. Okay, we'll come to this. I'll elaborate this. We'll discuss this at later stage. Now first of all, what is required for me? I need to know my written down value. So let us go to the working note and calculate, compute your written down value for both the blocks. As we know, we are having block 1, we are also having block 2. First, what I have to consider? I have to consider my opening WDV. Let us take, what is my opening WDV? If I go back 2 blocks, the opening WDV is specifically mentioned here, 10 lakhs and 25 lakhs. So let us take this as 10 lakhs. Okay, so let us take block 1 opening WDV 10 lakhs, block 2 opening WDV 25 lakhs. That's what is the information given. Then what I have to do? I need to add. What I need to add? Actual cost of asset. Actual cost of asset falling under the same block acquired during the previous year. So now what we have done? Purchase plan C for 25 lakhs. So ultimately come here, actual cost. What was the actual cost there? The actual cost was 2,50,000. No, the actual cost plan C was purchased on the same date and put to use on the same date for 2,50,000. So now let us take your actual cost as 2,50,000. Then you had also purchased a building. What is the cost of building? 6 lakhs. Let us see. Purchase a building C for 6 lakhs. So ultimately let us come down here and take the cost as 6 lakhs. Now less sale proceeds. You had sold plant A for what? Let us see what is the consideration for which plant was sold. The plant was sold for a consideration of 4 lakhs. So the plant was sold for a consideration of 4 lakhs. So 4 lakhs is the sale proceeds which I should consider. Less 4 lakhs. Here nothing is being sold. So ultimately this gives you the WDV. So being this, let us put this in negative figure. So ultimately what? 10 lakhs plus 2,50,000 minus 4 lakhs, that is going to give you 8,50,000 as the value. So this is nothing but your closing WDV, and here 31 lakhs is nothing but your closing WDV. So we got the WDV as on 31st March. So WDV as on 31st March, either of 31st March 20 or 31st March 21, that depends upon the previous year which you have been considered. Now if you observe, when I try to calculate the depreciation, there are 2 components in your WDV. Now let me focus initially on block 1, then I will come to block 2, because block 2 is very simple. If you observe, there are 2 things there. Initially you are having plant A and plant B. You had acquired some other plant C. Plant A and plant B was used for a period of greater than or equal to 180 days. Plant C was used for a period of less than, not equal to, less than what? Plant C was used for a period of less than 180 days. So this is used for a period of less than 180 days. Now what I should do? This WDV should be broken up into 2 segments. Now my WDV is what? 8,50,000 is the total WDV of the block. This WDV, this entire WDV, I should broke up into 2 parts. One WDV less than 180 days and WDV greater than 180 days. So what we will do here, we have to consider the actual cost of acquisition. What was the actual cost of acquisition? 2,50,000. So ultimately, I will consider 2,50,000 rupees as the value of the asset, which is nothing but the actual cost of asset. Actual cost of asset used for period less than 180 days. So actual cost of the asset used for a period of less than 180 days should be considered as your WDV. So my total overall WDV is 8,50,000. Of this 2,50,000 is nothing but the WDV used by me for a period of less than 180 days. So ultimately what is the balance? 6 lakhs is the balance which I have to consider as a WDV, which I am using for a period of more than 180 days. Very simple. whenever you are having more than one asset and one asset is used for a period of less than 180 and other assets is used for a period of more than 180, what I have to do? Compute the WDV of the block. Don't consider asset used for a period of more than 180, less than 180. Just simply calculate the overall WDV. So once you calculate the overall WDV, then what I have to do? Take the actual cost of the asset used for a period of less than 180 days as the WDV of the block. Then the total WDV minus this gives you the WDV of the asset which is put to use for a period of greater than 180. Now if I go back to my original statement, here what I can consider, two components or two parameters I have to consider. Let us write that as well. What? WDV as on 31st greater than or equal to 180 days, less than 180 days. So here just now being calculated, less than 180 days the WDV is going to be 2,50,000, greater than or equal to 180 days the WDV is going to be 6 lakhs. So now based upon this I will calculate the depreciation also under two different categories. Why? Any asset used for a period of less than 180 days, the rate of depreciation is 50% of your normal rate. Asset put to use for a period of more than 180 days, the depreciation is nothing but 100% of your normal rate. So now what is your normal rate? The first block being a asset, the rate of depreciation has to be considered as what? 15%. Now let us try to calculate the depreciation. So now when I try to calculate the depreciation, first of all I have to consider the rate of normal depreciation being here this case 15%. Now what will happen? Asset put to use for a period of greater than 180 days. What will happen? 6 lakhs into 15%. What is the depreciation you are getting? 6 lakhs into 15% if I do, my depreciation amount is going to be 90,000 is the depreciation amount. Then what? Asset put to use for a period of less than 180, what is the rate of depreciation? 2.5 lakhs, 2,50,000 into 50% of the normal rate. So I have to consider 7.5%. Now let us see what you will be getting. 2,50,000 into 7.5% gives you 18,750. So the total depreciation here is 18,750 plus this gives you 1 lakh 8,750. That's what is the depreciation for your block 1. So you are trying to compute the depreciation in such a way. Now block 2, it's very simple. We know the WDV. What is your WDV? The WDV is coming to 31 lakhs. So ultimately what I will do, and when you are acquiring the asset, okay, purchase 6 lakhs and let us consider put to use also on the same date on 1st April 2019. So acquired on and put to use on the same date 1st April 2019, then ultimately whatever WDV I get here will be considered. So what I am getting? 31 lakhs. So entire 31 lakhs is assumed to be greater than 180 days. So as you are using that for a period of greater than 180 days and being a building, let us consider the rate of depreciation to be 10%. 31 lakhs into 10%, the rate of depreciation is what? 3,10,000 is nothing but the amount of depreciation. Now the total amount of depreciation here 3,10,000. Now what is the overall depreciation which you are entitled? 3,01,000 plus 1,08,750. That is going to give you 4,18,750. That's what is the total depreciation which you can consider. That's what is the case number 1. Case number 2, I'm just trying to change it. Block 2. Okay, let us go to the case 2. Okay, let us go to the case 2 and try to see that okay, everything remains same. Sale proceeds of block A, sale proceeds of plant A. Sale proceeds of plant A. In the earlier example, what was the sale proceeds? You sold the plant A for a consideration of 2 lakhs. Now if you sell that for more consideration, okay, now let us consider sale proceeds of plant A, rupees 6 lakhs. Sale proceeds of plant A is rupees 6 lakhs. Then what will happen? Everything remains the same. Rest of the things remains the same. Now sale proceeds of plant A is 6 lakhs. Then ultimately what will happen? WD is going to change. Okay? WDV is going to change. In this case, how do I calculate the WDV? Let us see. How do I calculate the depreciation? Again, let us quickly calculate your WDV. Take your WDV as on 1st April, beginning of the previous year. No change. What was there? 10 lakhs. I will just consider the same thing here as also 10 lakhs. What you had done? You had acquired actual cost of plant C. You had purchased plant C. What was the cost of acquisition there? Plant C was purchased for 2,50,000. So add your actual cost of acquisition being 2,50,000 less sale proceeds. Plant A was sold for 6 lakhs. Now let us consider your WDV now. Okay. Again, I will change the scenario and I will try to explain. So 10 lakhs plus 2,50,000 minus 6 lakhs is going to give you 6 lakhs 50. So my closing WDV is 6 lakhs 50. That means WDV as on 31st March, closing WDV either it could be 20 or 21. So it's going to be 6 lakhs 50. Now, what I had mentioned earlier, based upon the earlier aspect, my WDV 6 lakhs 50,000 to be broken up into two parts. My WDV should be broken up into two parts. What? One part less than 180 days. Less than 180 days. What I have to consider here? Actual cost. What was your actual cost? 2,50,000 was your actual cost. Now, this is nothing but your balancing figure. Okay. What is your balancing figure? 6,50,000 minus 2,50,000. The balancing figure is going to be something called as 4 lakhs. Now, what will happen? What is your depreciation there? The depreciation is nothing but what? 4 lakhs as it is used for a period of more than 180 into 15. 2,50,000 being used for a period of less than 180 days, I have to consider this as 7.5%. Now let us quickly calculate and do the total of your depreciation there. 4 lakhs into 15%, that gives you 60,000. 2,50,000 into 7.5% is going to give you 18,750. What is the total? 78,750 is the total. So this is nothing but the total amount of depreciation under section 32. Now let me change the same example again. So two cases we have discussed so far. In one case your sale proceeds is 6. In the other case your sale proceeds is, in the first case your sale proceeds was 4. In the second case your sale proceeds was 6. Now in this scenario I am going to increase the sale proceeds further and take that as what? 11 lakhs. Okay, let us see. Now case 3. This is nothing but your case 3. What is your case 3? Sale proceeds of A, let us consider to be 11 lakhs rupees. Now again you calculate your WDV. Opening WDV, what was your opening WDV? Same routine, 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs was your opening WDV. Okay. Then what you are doing? Add actual cost of asset acquired. What asset you had purchased? Something called as plant C. At what cost you had purchased? 2,50,000 you had purchased. And what you had done? Sold. Sale proceeds. What? Sale proceeds of something called as plant A. So for what price you are selling? 11,000. So 11,000 rupees you are selling, or let me reduce this to some extent. Okay, let me reduce this to 9 lakhs. You are selling this plant A at rupees 9 lakhs. So 9 lakhs is the sale consideration. Now what is your WDV? What is your WDV there? 12,50,000. How you are getting 12,50,000? 10 lakh plus 2,50,000 gives you 12,50,000. From that I need to reduce something called as 9 lakhs. So okay, let us consider as 11 lakhs only. That would be better. So let us consider your sale proceeds as 11 lakhs. Now what will happen? Here also I have to consider it as 11 lakhs. Now let us see what will be your WDV. 12 lakhs 50,000 minus 11 lakhs, that is going to give you something called as 1 lakh 50,000. Clear? 10 lakhs plus 2 lakh 50,000. Sale proceeds of plant A is 11 lakhs. So 12 lakh 50,000 minus 11 lakhs, that is going to give you 1 lakh 50,000. What is this called as? WDV as on 31st March 20 or 31st March 21, whatever it is. So that gives you your WDV for the corresponding year. Now what I am supposed to do? Earlier what we have done, taken your WDV as on 31st March, you had written that as sum amount. This sum amount, what you have done, broken up into two components. What is the first component? You said your first component was your actual cost, and the second component is nothing but something called as a balancing figure. Now let us move to the other thing. Your WD was 6 lakhs 50. What you said, your actual cost of the asset was 2 lakh 50 and balancing figure was 4 lakhs. On this you are claiming full rate of depreciation. On this you are taking your 50% of the normal rate of depreciation. Now what is my actual cost? My actual cost was 2 lakh 50. Actual cost was what? 2 lakhs 50,000. But my, in that case, if I consider here, do I have any balancing figure here? No, nil. My balancing figure is nil. So actual cost, whenever your actual cost, now let me explain this clearly in the next page. Whenever actual cost of asset, okay, actual cost of asset acquired and put to use, actual cost of asset acquired and put to use for period less than 180 days, actual cost of asset acquired and put to use less than 180 days, for a period which is less than 180 days, then what? Okay, in that case, whenever any actual cost of the asset acquired and put to use for a period of less than 180 days is less than written down value of block, is less than written down value of block as on 31st March, closing WDV, written down value of the block as on 31st March 20 or 31st March 21. Then what will happen? Then the act clearly says depreciation will be allowed only on WDV as on 31st March, closing WDV, into 50% of your normal rate of depreciation. 50% of your normal rate of depreciation. So what I am going to do, calculating the WDV as on 31st March, and I am going to apply only 50% of the normal rate of depreciation. When we'll apply this concept? Whenever your actual asset acquired is less than, whenever your actual asset acquired is greater than, whenever your actual asset acquired is greater than WDV, or WDV, closing WDV is less than actual cost of the asset. Both remain the same. Here I am putting the other principle, closing WDV less than actual cost. In this case, if you go, what was your closing WDV? 1 lakh 50. What is your actual cost? 2 lakh 50. So ultimately, I am going to apply this principle. If I am going to apply this principle, then what is my depreciation? My depreciation will be 1 lakh 50,000 into 50% of the normal rate of depreciation. What is my normal rate of depreciation? 15%. 50% of that, 7.5%. Now let us see what is the depreciation here. 1,50,000 into 7.5%, which is going to be 11,250 is the rate of depreciation. Again, when I will apply this, whenever WDV less than actual cost or actual cost of the asset greater than WDV, in that case what we will do? Take the closing WDV on that 50% of the normal rate of depreciation will be allowed, because you don't have any balancing figure. If you have balancing figure is 0. 0 into 15% is always said to be 0. So ultimately you don't have this. So whatever WDV you have, or entire WDV is eligible for something which is nothing but 50% of your normal rate. That's what is the provision which you are going to apply. Now, I hope this is clear. I'm going to the other part, exceptions to the normal. So if we discuss that, I can say the provisions regarding to the depreciation is said to be completed. Exceptions. Let us see what are the exceptions. What is the general rule? Last class I had explained clearly the general rule is something, okay, let me write it here. General rule, the general rule is something which is nothing but closing WDV into rate of depreciation. That means you need to compute your depreciation on the closing WDV. That's what is the general rule. This general rule have some sort of exceptions. That means under these sort of cases, you cannot calculate the depreciation. That means you cannot multiply your depreciation on your written down value. First case. Let us see the first case and let us discuss this with a small example so that you can easily understand. What is the first case here? Block exist. Okay, block exist, but WDV does not exist. Block is existing, but WDV does not exist. Then we'll consider the first case. Means what? Let us try to understand the same thing with the help of an example. Okay, let me take an example here. You are having plant A, plant B, and let us consider WDV of this block plant A and plant B as on 1st April opening WDV. Let us consider this to be 7 lakhs. Opening WDV of plant A and plant B is said to be considered as 7 lakhs. Now, let us consider what? You had purchased another asset, okay, and let us call this as C. Now, let us consider the cost of this asset to be 3 lakhs. Clear? And let us consider whatever it is. Here, the date is not important. Okay, the asset may be acquired and put to use for a period of more than 180 days, less than 180 days. That's whatever it is immaterial at the present point of time. Less from this, what I need to do? Less sale proceeds of plant A. Sale proceeds of plant A. Now, how many plants you are having? You are having plant A, plant B, and you had also purchased plant C. Of 3 plants, what you had done? Sold plant A. Now you are having 2 plants. So ultimately, as 2 plants are there, block is exist. Block is there. So block exists. But WDV does not exist. What is the meaning of this? You sold plant A for a consideration greater than 7 lakhs plus 3 lakhs. Say suppose the consideration of the plant A, you sold this plant A for 12 lakhs. So the sale proceeds of plant A was 12 lakhs. Fundamental principle is WDV cannot be negative. So what is that? You cannot have a negative WDV at all. So you cannot have a negative WDV. So if I calculate here, I will be generally getting what? 2 lakhs negative balance. I will be getting 2 lakhs negative balance, but that is wrong. I cannot have a negative WDV. That means what? We are restricting your WDV to 0. We are restricting that to 0. So what I have to consider? WDV restricted to 0. WDV has been restricted to 0. That means sale proceeds, what I am doing? I am restricting the sale proceeds to 10 lakhs. Then only I can restrict my WDV also to 0. Okay. Otherwise, I can't restrict my WDV 0. So, I cannot have a negative WDV. That's the reason you are restricting your WDV to 0. Now, you tell me whether what is my depreciation here? 0 into anything is 0. So, ultimately my depreciation is 0. That's the reason here. What is the exception? In these cases, you cannot take the depreciation. Exception means what? Generally, closing WDV into rate of depreciation you can consider if you satisfy the conditions. In the following scenario, you cannot take the depreciation at all. That's what is nothing but your exception. First exception we have discussed. Block exists, but WDV does not exist. Now, second thing is somewhat opposite to this. What is second one? WDV exists. I am having a WDV, but what is the meaning? Block does not exist. So, block does not exist, but you are having a WDV. That's what is nothing but your second exception. What is your second exception? WDV exists but block does not exist. WDV exists but block does not exist. Let us see what is the meaning of this. Let me take the same example again. You are having a written down value as on 1st April for something called as a plant A and plant B, which was nothing but what? 7 lakhs. So opening WDV of the two plants was coming to be 7 lakhs. Then what you have done? Then you had acquired another plant called as plant C. Now plant C, let us consider you had acquired for 3 lakhs. Now what you had done? You sold plant A was sold, plant B was sold, plant C also was sold. All the assets you are having, plant A, B, plant C, all the assets were sold. Say let us consider this, all the assets were sold for a consideration of 4 lakhs. All these assets were sold for a consideration of a 4 lakhs. At a loss you had sold. Now if I calculate WDV as on 31st March, what is our WDV? 7 plus 3 10, 10 minus 4 6. So ultimately my WDV as on 31st March is going to be 6 lakhs. Now if you go and read the line of your second exception, WDV exists 6 lakhs, block does not exist. You are having plant A and plant B, you purchase plant C, you are having 3 plants, all the 3 plants were sold, WDV is not there. So WDV is there but block is not there. So as an exception, in this case what? You are not entitled to claim any depreciation. No depreciation can be claimed. You cannot claim any sort of depreciation. No depreciation can be claimed. That's what is the meaning for this. Clear? So these are the two exceptions which I had covered. Okay, now let us see apportionment of depreciation. Okay, apportionment of depreciation. Generally the concept of apportionment of depreciation arises whenever a sole proprietor is converted into a company or a partnership firm, or a partnership firm is converted into a company, then ultimately this concept of apportionment of depreciation arises. So basically when this concept occurs in the case of conversion. So in the case of conversion of sole proprietor, so there is a sole proprietor, this sole proprietary business is converted to what? To a company, or it is converted to a firm, or a firm is converted to a company, then ultimately we need to adopt the process of apportionment of your depreciation. So in this process of apportionment of depreciation, what we have to do, the step number 1, compute the depreciation as a whole. Then the depreciation as a whole should be apportioned between the proprietor and the company. That's what is something called as the apportionment of depreciation. So what we'll do, let us take a small problem. With the help of that problem, let us discuss how do we address the apportionment of your depreciation. So let us take the question quickly. So here what is the question? So let us consider there is a person called as Mr. Gopi. So Mr. Gopi is a sole proprietor. Mr. Gopi is a sole proprietor. Okay, so what this person has done, this person has converted business into something called as Gopi Pipes Private Limited. So this person has converted his sole proprietary business into a company. Then ultimately, as now just we have discussed, I need to compute the total income, total depreciation. The total depreciation should be apportioned between proprietor and the company. Now let us see. Converted into Gopi Pipes Private Limited on 1st July 2019. That means up to 30th June it was Gopi. From 1st July it was called as Gopi Pipes Private Limited. So for this period I need to provide depreciation for Gopi from 1st July 2019 till 31st March 20. The depreciation has to be given to the company. That's what is the interpretation which we can do. Now let us take the other details of the following here. So it is also mentioned that the following are the asset details. Asset details. Asset details are as follows. Let us see the asset details are as follows. Let us consider what are the following assets which are available. So there are basically two blocks, block 1, block 2. Two blocks are there. First block is giving you the WDV for what? Plant and machinery. The rate of depreciation being 15%. Second block being given you opening WDV. These both are opening. Opening WDV means WDV as on 1st April of the beginning of the previous year. This is nothing but the opening WDV of the building, and the rate of building is mentioned to be 10%. Now, what is the amount? Rupees. The WDV, opening WDV of the plant and machinery was mentioned as 12 lakhs. This WDV is mentioned as 25 lakhs. That's what is the WDV given. Now, other information is also been provided. What is that? Let us see. Gopi Pipes Private Limited acquired plant and machinery in December 2019 for rupees 10 lakhs. That's what is the information provided. What is the objective? Compute depreciation to be allowable for Gopi and Gopi Pipes Private Limited. So that's what is the thing which I need to consider here. Now let us get into the solution part. Solution. What I had mentioned that first you calculate the total depreciation, compute the total depreciation, then the total depreciation should be apportioned to the Gopi Pipes Gopi as well as Gopi Pipes Private Limited. Now let us prepare a small table here. Let us put the heading for this. What is the heading of this table? Computation of depreciation for Mr. Gopi and Gopi Pipes Private Limited for the year what? For the previous year, rather, for the previous year 1920. So this is the heading of your table. Now let us see what are the columns which you should incorporate into your table. Now let us see what you are having different types of asset. So my first column heading will be something called as asset. Then what is my second column? Total depreciation. How do I calculate depreciation? Opening WDV into my rate of depreciation is going to give me my total depreciation. Then I need to consider total days used. How many days were used? Then this days used should be break up into days used by Gopi, used by the company. Then I need to calculate the total depreciation which Gopi can take and the Gopi Pipes Private Limited can consider. So this is nothing but your table which you should prepare now. First, let us fill your first column. What is the first column? Assets. Already two assets are given. Plant and machinery is mentioned, and is also mentioning you are having something called as building. So these are the two assets you are having, and apart from that, new asset was acquired. New plant and machinery is also been acquired. So that's what is the information which you can take. Now if we go to the problem, what is mentioned there? Let us see. In the problem it is mentioned that WDV, opening WDV or the plant and machinery is 15% and the amount valuing to 12 lakhs. Now that means what? Here I need to consider opening WDV 12 lakhs. Of that 15% is the rate of depreciation. Let us charge 12 lakhs into 15%, that is going to give you 1,80,000. So we are getting something called as 1,80,000 as the depreciation which you are entitled for the plant. Now coming to building, the value of the building is what? 25 lakhs. and the rate of the depreciation of the building is what? 10% is the rate of depreciation. So opening WDV into rate of depreciation, that is going to give you something 2,50,000 as the value. Then what? Gopi Pipes Private Limited acquired another machinery, planted machinery on 31st on December 2019 for 10 lakhs. Now, December, Gopi has Private Limited has purchased 10 lakhs. Now, so 10 lakhs, this asset was put to use also on the same date. So ultimately, as the asset is acquired and put to use in the current year for a period of less than 100 days, you are supposed to consider 50% of your normal rate. So now, what will happen? 10 lakhs being the cost of the asset, then 50% of your normal rate being 7.5%, your depreciation is going to be 75,000. Now, arrive at your total depreciation. Now, what is your total depreciation there? Let us see. 1,80,000 plus 2,50,000 plus 75,000. That is going to give you 5,05,000. So that is going to give you 5,05,000. Now, if I consider 5,05,000 of this, when this asset was purchased, after conversion to Gopi Private Pipes Private Limited. So ultimately, this entire 75,000 pertains to Gopi Private Limited, but not to the Gopi Mr. Gopi. So ultimately, what I will do, let us consider this total amount of 75,000 as the depreciation for the company. Why? Because this company was formed on 1st July and this machinery was acquired after converting the company. So I need not apportion the 75,000 to Gopi as well as Gopi Pipes Private Limited. What I will apportion, those assets which are already there, whatever depreciation on that, that will apportion. Now, coming to here, 1920. Our financial year or the previous year is 1920. We should be very careful in this aspect because 1920 is a different year, because February being a leap year, 29 days are there. I should not consider 365 days. I had to consider the total days as 366 because of 1 day extra in the month of February. Now, what is the total days here? The total days in an year is going to be 366. 366. Now, what happened? Of that, the company formed on 1st July. That means the asset was used by Mr. Gopi for the month of April, for the month of May, for the month of June. That means for the period of 30 days of May, April, for the period of 31 days of May, for the period of 30 days of June, the total amounting to 91. That means out of 366 days, 91 days Mr. Gopi has used. The remaining days was used by Gopi Pipes Private Limited. So now if I come here, of 366 days, 91 days was used by Gopi. 275 days were used by the Gopi Pipes Private Limited. Now what I need to do, I need to apportion this 1,80,000 in terms of 91:275 ratio. I need to apportion that to Gopi as well as Gopi Pipes Private Limited. So what we will do, let us put this as a part of your working note number 1. There we will calculate and we will bring it to here. Now let us move on to your working note number 1. Working note number 1. Basically 2 assets are there. Let us do one by one. Okay. Now let us take here particulars. Total. Let us take particulars. Total Gopi, and the other column is Gopi Pipes. Gopi Pipes Private Limited. So these are the 4 different columns we should have. Now, in the case of your particulars, what is your first asset? The first asset is nothing but your plant and machinery. That will be your first asset. Before that, let us take number of days. Number of days. We know that the total year is having 366 days. Of this, 91 days is used by Gopi and the remaining 275 days is used by Gopi Pipes Private Limited. That's what is the information which is already been calculated. Now, okay, which is already been calculated is this information. Right. Now, let us move on to the other part. Assets. What are the assets you have? Assets, 2 assets we are having. First, let us take the plant and machinery. What I will be taking? Depreciation part. Depreciation on plant and machinery. Already we have calculated there. The total is coming to be what? In total column, let us consider 2,50,000 is the rate of depreciation. Now what I am supposed to do, apportion that to Gopi, apportion that to Gopi pipes presented in the ratio of 91:275. That means what we are going to do, 2,50,000 into 91 divided by 365. If I do, I will be getting the amount of depreciation apportion to Gopi. Now coming to Gopi pipes, same thing again, 2,50,000. As Gopi pipes has used the asset for 275 days, 275 divided by 365. That is going to give you the amount of depreciation which both the people can take. Now let us see what is coming there. 2,50,000 into 91 divided by 365 is going to give you 262,000. One second. Yeah, 2,50,000 is the depreciation. Then what we are trying to do into, sorry, it is not 365 as it is a leap year. I need to consider it as 366. Now what will happen, 2,50,000 into 91 divided by 366 is going to give you 62,158. Then 2,50,000 into 275 divided by 366 is going to give you 1,87,842, round off 842. Now let us write it there in this table. Let us fill this table here. So Gopi can take a depreciation of 62,158, 62,158, whereas Gopi Pipes Private Limited can take a depreciation of 1,87,842. 1,87,842 is the total depreciation he can consider. Now let us also do for building. If I look into the building, what is the depreciation, total depreciation of building? The total depreciation of the building is coming to 1,80,000. Same situation will repeat again, 1,80,000 into 91 divided by 366, 1,80,000 into 365 divided by 366. Now 1,80,000 into 91 divided by 366. So that you are getting into what, 44,754. 44,754 is the total value. Now coming to the other part, 1,80,000, sorry, 1,80,000 here 275. This is 275 because the asset is used 275 days, into 275 divided by 366. So into 275 divided by 366, you are getting 1,35,246. 246. Now if we fill this in the table, 44,754 is the rate of depreciation, I mean amount of depreciation, and coming to this 1,35,250, 246. Now this is the total amount of depreciation which Gopi and Gopi Pipes Private Limited can consider. Now let us see, 62,158 plus 44,754, that is going to give you 1,06,912. 1,06,912 is nothing but the total. Now 1,87,842 plus 1,35,246 plus 75 is going to give you 3,98,008. So now if you do the total, 3,98,088 plus 106,912, you will be getting a total depreciation of what, 5,05,000. So that 5,05,000 is the total depreciation that you are apportioning 1,06,912 to Gopi and 3,98,088 to Gopi Pipes Private Limited. That's what is something called as your apportionment of your depreciation. Now finally, one more thing we need to discuss. If you go to the first topic, here we have discussed something called as, I need to add actual cost of asset under section 43 subsection 1. If I know how do I calculate something called as actual cost of the asset, then I can say the entire problem is said to be completed. Okay, entire depreciation provisions are said to be completed. Now let us get into and understand 43 subsection 1, what is actual cost and how do we calculate the actual cost. Okay, now let us get into something called as actual cost of asset. Actual cost of asset. There is something called as actual cost of asset will be considering in some cases, and in few cases will be considering something called as notional cost of asset. Two things are there. Okay, from the examination perspective, it would be sufficient if we focus on something called as actual cost of the asset. Now this actual cost of the asset is defined under something called as section 43 subsection 1. Now section 43 subsection 1 speaks about something called as how do I determine the actual cost of the asset. Of course, along with the 43 subsection 1, it has specified several explanations regarding to the calculation, addition, deduction from the purchase cost of the asset. Now first of all, let us try to understand what is the meaning of actual cost of the asset. Initially, what? Any sort of expenditure incurred by SSC. Any sort of expenditure incurred by SSC. Actual cost of the means what? Actual cost of the asset means expenses incurred by the SSC. Okay, expense incurred by the SSC to acquire. Any sort of expense incurred by you to acquire any sort of asset is something called as actual cost of the asset. So if you are buying an asset for 10 lakhs, 10 lakhs is nothing but the expenses incurred by the SSC to acquire the asset. I have to consider 10 lakhs. Now Finance Act 2019 has slightly amended this point. So what it says, whenever any expenses incurred by the SSC to acquire asset, then what the act says, the payment, okay, payment for procurement of asset, should be, how it should be made. How it should be made? Made in form of something called as account payee check. Okay, something called as account payee check or something called as account payee draft. So what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to make payment to the supplier in the form of account payee check, or it may be in the form of account payee draft, or you may be making a payment through something called as electronic clearance scheme. Electronic clearance scheme, in short we'll call this as what? ECS, electronic clearance scheme. Okay, that's what is something called as what? ECS. Or it does not stop, or it says any other mode prescribed, any other mode which is prescribed. That means you are supposed to make a payment to the supplier only through check, only through, that also through account pay check, and that also through account pay draft or ECS or any other mode which is prescribed. When this should happen? Whenever the payment is more than 10,000. So this provision is applicable only where payment is more than, whenever the payment is more than 10,000, this provision is applicable. That means, what is the meaning of this? Whenever I make a payment by procuring an asset, if the value of the asset is less than 10,000, I can make the payment in cash. I can. But this provision clearly says the payment for procurement of the asset should be made in account pay check or account pay draft or through ECS or any other mode prescribed when the payment is more than 10,000. What happens if you pay in cash? Okay, let us say if any expenses incurred beyond rupees 10,000. How you are incurring? Beyond rupees 10,000 in cash, if you are incurring any expenses beyond 10,000 rupees in cash, such expense should not be considered. So what I have to do, such expenses should not be considered for depreciation. Such expenditure should not be considered for depreciation. Now whatever I had mentioned there, let me put that in as an example. Say suppose Mr. X, okay, let me take an example. Mr. X purchased plant A by account payee check. So plant A was purchased by account payee check amounting to rupees, say 1,50,000. Okay, amounting to rupees 1,50,000. Then same person also purchased plant B in cash amounting to rupees 35,000. The same person also purchased plant C. What is doing? Purchase plant C in cash. Purchase plant C in cash for rupees. Purchase plant C in cash for rupees. For rupees what? For rupees, let us consider 9,500. So these are the three assets purchased. Plant A was purchased by account pay check. Plant B was purchased in cash. Plant C is also purchased in cash. But if you observe, plant B was beyond 10,000. So I won't consider this 35,000 for determination of my depreciation. The said provision will not apply if the total expenses does not be more than 10,000. So ultimately plant C does not exceed 10,000. I can take a depreciation on that. See, I cannot take depreciation only when the asset value increases by more than 10,000. So in this case, if I consider on what value I can take the depreciation, let us see. Depreciation can be taken on what? Plant A. What is the cost of plant A? 1,50,000. As entire asset is purchased in form of check, account pay check, you can take. Plant B not eligible, because anything more than 10,000 you are supposed to should not pay in cash. If you pay in cash, that's what we have seen, you are not allowed to take depreciation. If any expense incurred beyond 10,000 rupees in cash, such expenses should not be considered for depreciation. So I cannot consider this 35,000 for depreciation. But wherever the value of asset does not exceed 10,000, wherever the amount of payment does not exceed 10,000, there the restriction is not there. So I can take this 9,500 rupees for determination of my depreciation. So I can take the depreciation on 1,59,500 rupees. I can take the depreciation. So on this value, as it is a plant and machinery, 15% is nothing but your rate of depreciation. That's what is the amendment as per Finance Act 2019. Now let us get into 43 subsection 1 and try to understand the remaining part of the provision. Now, okay, so here if you try to see manner of computation of your actual cost. Now let us prepare a small table. In that let us see method of computation of actual cost. How do we calculate? Almost in line with your accounting standard 10. So there is no deviation with your AS10, almost roughly the same. Now let us see. The first one, take your purchase price. Whatever price which you are paying, purchase price of asset, take your purchase price of asset. So whatever price you are paying to the supplier, that is something called as your purchase price. You have to consider that. To this, I need to add something, I need to reduce something. What I will add? Same, AS10. Any sort of expenses attributable to bring the asset to the present location and to make it usable for, to make it suitable for usage, I need to add. So ultimately, any sort of direct cost attributable to what? To asset. For what? to bring asset, to bring the asset to present location and make it ready to use. Means what? Incurring expenses to bring the asset to the present location, freight insurance. Making it ready to use is something called as installation expenses, and in some cases training expense. So these are the expenses which I am supposed to add. Then what? Then this point again I will discuss. Whatever we are discussing now, again I will discuss this point when we are covering something called as section 36 subsection 1 clause 3. There again the same point I will discuss. Now what is this? Interest on loan borrowed. Interest on loan borrowed for acquisition of asset. The same point again I will discuss when we are dealing with 36 subsection 1 clause 3, because it's very important now. So these are the additions which I am supposed to do. Then what are the deductions I will reduce? Let us see. I need to reduce what? Any sort of subsidy, any sort of subsidy or any sort of grant received from government, any sort of subsidy or grant received from the government, or any sort of subsidy or grant received from government or any authority. It may not be government, any person, any authority, whoever is giving you some sort of subsidy or grant, that has to be reduced. And there is one more thing, of course, that does not have any sort of significance after commencement of GST, because what the next point says, whatever SENVAT credit you have, either that could be on excise, either that could be on additional duty paid on customs. So that also I should reduce. Now of course practically speaking there is no excise and there is no SENVAT credit rule, so ultimately we can ignore that. The definition is not amended, but we can ignore the particular line. So once you do, one more thing is there, one more other important part is there. Along with this, there may be a cases where I may add or I may reduce what? Something called as increase or decrease. Increase or decrease in cost due to. Increase or decrease in cost due to what? Exchange rate fluctuations. Your dollar rate or your foreign currency keeps on changing. 1 USD is equal to 75 rupees. Tomorrow 1 USD may be less than 75 or 1 USD may be more than 75. So depending upon that, what I need to do, I need to add, increase or decrease that foreign currency fluctuations. It will try to understand now, which is covered as a part of your section 43A. Section 43A of the Income Tax Act specifies about this. There may be cases where I should add or there may be cases where I should reduce. So once I do this, what is this called as? This part is called as the actual cost of asset. So this will be called as the actual cost of asset under section 43 subsection 1. This you are supposed to add to your opening WDV. From this you are supposed to deduce your sale proceeds of any sort of assets falling within the same block. Now if I finish one more section called as 43A, I can say I am done with the provisions of your depreciation. So with that, the depreciation part is said to be totally completed. Now let us get into something called as 43A and see what does this speaks about. Clear? Now let us come here. Section 43A. What is this? Let us see. Section 43A is something called as special provisions consequential to the changes in your foreign currency. So what is this section called as? Special provision. This is something called as special provisions, which is resulting as a sort of consequences, consequential to change. Any sort of consequences happening to the change in what? Change in rate of exchange of what? Currency. So due to changes in the foreign currency, There may be some cases where I am paying more than what I am supposed to do. There are some cases where I am paying less than what I am supposed to do. If I am paying more, I will add it. If I am paying less, I will reduce. So when I will add it, so here when we are discussing something called as a foreign currency, if actual cost, I had mentioned one point that increase or decrease, addition or reduction. Let us take a small example here. With that we can understand 43A. It's very simple. 43A says what? Say, let me take with an example, date of purchase. Date of purchase of your asset. Let us consider 1st April 2019 is the date of purchase. Let us take the cost of asset. Cost of asset in USD. Let us consider 10,000 USD. So the cost of asset is what? $10,000. You are buying the asset at a cost of 10,000 USD. Now, rate of exchange on the date. On the date of equation, let us consider 1 USD is equal to, say, let us consider 68 rupees. Yeah, 68 rupees. $1 is equal to 68 rupees when on the date of equation. Generally, what we'll do, I need to make a payment on a credit basis. I need to make a payment to the asset on the credit basis. Say, let us consider your supplier, he has given you a credit period. Your supplier has given you a credit period of 2 months. Credit period, what is given? Credit period is given as 2 months. Now, off means what? April, May. So you need to make payment. So payment should happen on what date? 1st June 2019, the payment has to be made. Now, what is the guarantee that on that date the dollar rate remains the same? Because dollar rate keeps on changing every day. Say for example, as an example, on the date 1 USD is equal to 70 rupees. First case, okay, 1 USD is equal to 70 rupees. Now, earlier what we have done? Recognized asset at what rate? 1 USD is equal to 68 rupees. Initially on the date of equation, whatever value was there, you had recognized the asset in your books at $1 is equal to 68. That's what even AS 11 speaks about. Now, what is the total USD there? The asset cost is coming to 10,000 USD. That means I had recorded the asset value as 68 into 10,000. So 68 rupees into 10,000 if I do, I'll be getting 6,80,000. This is nothing but your recorded asset is recorded in your books at 6,80,000. But when what is this date? This is the value as on 1st April 2019. On the payment date 70, the dollar rate became 70. Now you had recognized as 6,80,000, started taking depreciation on 6,80,000, but how much you are paying? Amount to be paid. What is the amount to be paid? Amount to be paid is nothing but 1 USD is equal to 1 USD is equal to 70 rupees. How much USD you are paying? 10,000 USD you are paying. So 10,000 USD is equal to what? 10,000 USD is equal to what? Then what we are trying to do? 10,000 into 70. So which means what? 10,000 into 70 is going to give you 7 lakhs. Asset was recorded in your books. Asset recorded is what? 6,80,000. Liability is now 7 lakhs. So my liability increased by 20,000. Now what the act says? Add these to your actual cost of asset. That's it. Actual cost of asset, I will add this 20,000. Let me change the example. On the date of payment, let us consider 1 USD is equal to 66 rupees. On the date of payment, let us consider 1 USD is equal to 66 rupees. Then how much amount I will be paying? 10,000 into 66 is going to give me 6,60,000. What we have done? Asset recorded in your books is only 6 lakhs 80. But how much I am repaying? Your liability is not 6 lakhs 80. Your liability is 6 lakhs 60. Now, what is the difference? The difference is going to be 20,000. Now, what I will do? I need to reduce this from my actual cost of the asset. Reduce from your actual cost of asset. That's what is the summary of something called as 43A. To summarize 43A, what is the summary of section 43A? The summary of 43A is very simple. Whenever your liability increases, increase in liability, how the liability is increasing? Due to change in foreign currency. Due to change in foreign currency, my liability has been increased. Earlier, at the time of acquisition, 1 USD is equal to 68. At the time of payment, $1 became 70. So due to the foreign currency, my liability got increased. Then what is the treatment specified by 43A? Increase in actual cost of asset. With what? Asset with difference of exchange rate. So increase the actual cost of asset with difference in your exchange rate. Say if we go to this example, recorded the asset at 6 lakhs 80, my liability increased to 7 lakhs. So this 20,000 is what? This 20,000 is the increase in liability due to change in my foreign currency rate. So I will add 20,000 to my actual cost of the asset. Now, decrease in liability. Why it is decreasing? Due to change in foreign currency. Due to change in foreign currency, then what I will do? I need to decrease, I need to reduce, I need to deduct my actual cost of asset. With what? Same, with difference of exchange rate. So whatever difference in exchange rate you have, with that what I need to do? I need to reduce that exchange liability. So if we again go to a second example, asset was recorded 6 lakhs 80. Due to change in foreign currency, your liability got reduced. So I need to reduce my actual cost of the asset by difference, which is nothing but 20,000. That's it. So with this, I can say the entire section 32 is done. Clear? So now in the next class, we will proceed with some other topic and we'll move on to section. We'll discuss in the next class something called as unabsorbed depreciation and something called as depreciation in the case of power generation. Already we have discussed terminal depreciation balancing charge. That will quickly summarize that. Then we'll move on to something called as investment allowance 32 AD. Then we'll discuss something called as additional depreciation. So with that I can say complete provisions regarding the depreciation is said to be done. Clear? So let us stop for this now.